Good morning, everyone. Thomas Fleming here. I finally got my video fixed for yesterday. I posted it and then I forgot about it because we were moving. So I updated the description which needed to be done. We've got good internet now, so I have no excuses other than the fact that we were tired and turned in early. I'm trying to find a place where I can actually sit down, but all the areas are near the campsites. Somebody dropped a golf ball here. I'll take it in closer. And a bird feather. They were really noisy this morning. The birds were. So our message for today: why are we going to be hated? We're beginning to see bits and pieces of it. The followers of Satan have hated Christians from the beginning of time, but they've had to lay low because there was far more of us, and Satan wasn't given the ability to do what he's doing now. Squirrel running up a tree and the birds were chasing him. Distraction. Well, we've been also protected in this country because we have a constitution that protects us. We continue to, they make stupid laws saying you can't pray, you can't do this, and you can't say this. It gets overturned. There's a video out called "What is a Woman?" I tried to post it on, and it's one that tells everybody what a woman is as opposed to what the world's trying to change things to. And they tried to post it on Twitter, and Twitter wouldn't allow it to be posted. So Elon Musk himself posted it. Now, I don't know about him yet overall for all of his stuff, but I do know that he doesn't like restricting free speech, free thought. When they say you can't ask questions, he doesn't like that. Now, he doesn't come out and say he's for God or that he's a Christian, but some of the principles he stands up for. So we just have to wait and see. Okay, I think I found a place to sit down. Yeah, we're okay. I could have some better lighting, but I didn't bring it with me. This is my first recording here, so let me get this situated. I guess I could sit on the other side with the sun shining at me. Closer to the sun. You always want to be close to the sun. Okay, let me get this set up and I'll get into our study. Okay, all set up. So we're going to see that, one, it's not unusual for the world to hate us. Satan has from the beginning, and he's had followers, but he couldn't do what he wanted to do. The United States is going to be their greatest prize. We were set up as a Christian nation, despite what the liars will tell you. They left the UK and other places over there to have religious freedom. But at that time, nobody even thought about having a Satan religion like we have now. They weren't out in the open. They wouldn't have lasted. They were burning witches, remember? They would have, who were not witches probably, but that's what was going on. The people wouldn't have tolerated it. Okay, so let's turn to John 15:18. Red letter version, so this is Jesus speaking. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. So we can't sit there and claim anything special. They hated Jesus first. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. It's easy to see. Doesn't make it easier to deal with, but it's easier to see. Jesus is the only one that can make it easier to deal with. And we got to basically stay sin-free, keep our armor on, and be doing what God wants us to do. Remember the word I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you. It's going on, and it's getting worse now. Whatever they're doing, wherever they're doing it, it's moving closer and closer to Satan's rule. And eventually they will kill Christians here in the United States. They've been doing it around the world. But here, we've been isolated. We've been protected. We have a constitutional protection. And the Supreme Court keeps coming in and fixing that. Every time they step over that line, say you can't do this or you can't talk about the Bible because it's hate speech, the Supreme Court says they can. Of course, when they talk about the Bible as hate speech, they have nothing to do at all to talk about Satan and what he's doing and their hatred for Christians. They get a free pass. That's the way the world is. And the world's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had come and spoken to them, they would have no sin in that matter. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates the Father. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, then they would have no sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and the Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled in which is written, they hated me without cause. Okay, well, where's that at? Well, let's jump to Psalms. Psalms and Proverbs are always easy to find. They're right in the middle of the Bible. And they're big, so you can't miss them. Psalm 69:4. 69:4. For those who hated me without cause are more than hairs on my head. They are mighty who would destroy me. Oh God, you know my foolishness, and my sins are not hidden from you. Let not those who wait for you, O Lord God of hosts, be ashamed because of me. Let not those who seek me be confounded because of me. We have to try to do the right thing at all times. And God will take care of us. God's one step ahead of us all the way. We never have to worry about things. But he does expect us to try. We don't have to succeed. There's no law that says we have to succeed. But God does say that we have to try. Now let's go to Psalm 109. Let's see. I'm just going to start in verse 1. Do not keep silent, O God, God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful have opened against me. They have social media, they have the news, they have all kinds of ways they can attack now, and attack anonymously. They don't even have to use their real names anymore. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They have also surrounded me with words of hatred and fought against me without cause. In return for my love, they are my accusers, but I give myself to prayer, lest they have rewarded me with evil for good. So this is the way the world is going. It's going to get so bad that we will have to be raptured. It's not bad yet. It's probably uncomfortable, but it's not bad yet. Whatever we're personally dealing with, that's a separate issue. If we're dealing with a medical problem or we're dealing with a job that's hard on us, that's a separate situation. We're talking about the world in general. This is becoming Satan's world. They're setting up everything. One world government, one world money, one world church, everything. It's all falling into place for them. They have to be excited because they can see where it's going. We're concerned because we also see where it's going. And we keep thinking, well, how much longer do I have to put up with this? It's not so bad that we can't hold on. Now, if we're still here and we're suffering something, pray for help with that suffering. Suffering can be two things. It can be something to temper us, to make us stronger. It can be a reward for sin, if you will. Now, just because someone's suffering doesn't mean that they're willingly sinful in an area and won't give in. That's not what that means. But we don't judge people. We can't judge people. We're told not to. And the way in which we judge, we will be judged. So don't look at people suffering and say, well, they must be really bad. No, that's not the way it works. We don't know the reason. Only God knows the reason, and if they've told them, then they know. But the world is going to find every avenue it can to exploit when we do something wrong. You know, when we're driving along the highway, there may be highway patrol patrolling up and down the road driving. You kind of expect those on occasion. The clever ones find a place to duck into, and they sit there and they watch. And if they catch you speeding, we have a new super speeder law of over 85 on the freeway here in Georgia. That gets the maximum punishment. And they just enacted it, so it's somebody yesterday, they said, tested it at 178 on the freeway. Yeah. Don't push it. It's there for a reason, and they're going to make examples of some people if need be. But Satan's like that too. He sits around and just waits and watches, and he may assign somebody to watch you. And every time you do something wrong, we're sinners, we're going to sin. Every time you do something wrong, he can jump in with his people. Aha, see, you think you're so good, you think you're a good person, and you're sinning. How terrible. Go hide and don't do anything for anybody anymore because you're not worthy. Satan's liars are out there. Don't believe them. Trust God. We've got all of his history. We know what he's talking about. So don't listen to the father of lies. Keep doing what you can. And we should be out there, Get up bright and early in the morning, spend some time with God, and then go find someone that needs help. And it's not even up to you to find them. All you have to do is say, God, bring someone to me that needs help, and give me the ability to help them. It's got to be a combination. We can't help anybody. We don't save people. It's never been our job to save people. We are just going to be, witnesses. It's like in a court. They hear from both sides sometimes. And we're speaking for the good side. And we're just going to tell people about what we know, what we've seen as witnesses. That's all we have to do. You don't have to make up stuff. You don't have to have the Bible memorized from cover to cover. Maybe just know a couple of verses here and there. That's all you need. Whatever you know, God will use. They won't let you bring the Bible into some areas. I don't know. What do I got? Something crawling around back there. Probably a squirrel again. The sun's starting to come up now, so it's been light for a long time, so they've already had, the birds have been out making noise and getting their breakfast. I'm up early enough, I haven't had my breakfast yet, so I'm going to go work on that. Nourishment to the body so we can do good work. Nourish the soul by reading the Bible and eat good food. Now, I had donuts and coffee. I don't have donuts and coffee all day long. You can have cheat meals. The body will adapt. Now, if you do something to excess, that's a difference. You can do what you need to do, and God will adapt. He's our perfect navigator. We're going in a direction that's over this way, and He wants us to go over here. As soon as we turn, you can kind of mentally hearing that. Readjusting your path, whatever the navigator on your phone or car, whatever you've got, it automatically adjusts. As soon as you turn back and go a different direction, it automatically adjusts. And you may be going this way, and it's going to keep saying, turn left, turn left. You keep ignoring it. It will eventually adjust when you get on the right track. And no matter how far you get, as soon as you're back on the right track, you're right where you need to be. The prodigal son approach. As soon as he sees us coming, he's leaping for joy. Want to make God feel good? Do what He asks you to do. And it won't be a burdensome thing. It's not hard to do. He's not going to make you get up and talk in front of 1 million people if you're shy and don't want to do that. He might work on you so that you learn to get rid of that shyness. That's an improvement, but it's not something that is necessary. He'll use whatever you enjoy doing the most to find a path to work for Him. Just be available and don't be afraid. Now, He tells you to do something that's bad or wrong, you got the wrong source. Turn to a different channel. The old radios, you used to have to adjust the positioning. Now they auto-tune, they auto-find the signal. You just push the button, it goes to the next channel. But back in the days, you had to actually adjust the dial, and sometimes you're turning it just a little bit to try to improve the signal. Squirrels, birds, there's a dog over there. But it's quiet. It's always quiet in the morning. That's why I like the morning to get out and talk to you, because I don't have, there's distractions. I can be distracted through the whole thing. But these are good distractions. Watching nature, Comes another squirrel. He's about 10 feet away from me now. There will be distractions. That's all right. We have the license to fail as long as we're prepared to get back up and try again. If whatever you're doing, if you fail and quit, then you really have failed. But if you fail and get back up and try again, then you haven't failed. Failing means quitting for good. Just keep at it. You get better at it. I'm afraid to go back and look at some of my earlier videos. I had to learn how to do this. This is not the same as acting, because I'm not acting. I'm just simply talking or I'm reading. But some of my early videos, I'm sure if I go back and look at them, I've got a few hundred videos out there now. Nobody likes to look at themselves or hear themselves talk. It's just natural because we don't hear ourselves in our head the same as people on the outside hear. Our mouth, our throat and mouth and everything all work together, and the sound that we hear inside is not the same sound that comes out here. So it's natural. And no actor likes to watch himself, because you remember what you were doing to come up with that. And it's like, well, I could have done a better job. Most of the time, it's I could have done a better job. A painter, comes back and has to touch up his painting every day. Even after it's finished, to come back and touch it up, there'd be layers of paint where it's all these touch-ups. That's natural. The best thing you can do is to put it away or give it to somebody or sell it to somebody so you don't have to keep looking at it. Now, fortunately for me, I have very good short-term memory, but very bad long-term memory. So within a couple of days of me saying my lines, they're gone. I don't remember what I did. And I'm not a method actor per se. I can, on occasion do that. You just learn, the old vaudeville actors really were the best actors early on. They learned to come up with facial expressions. They had to reach an audience from a stage. Stage actors know what it's like. You have to project your voice so it goes beyond the edge of the stage into the audience, and hopefully the guy in the last row can hear. People learn how to do this. And they make a living out of it if they're good at it. And if they're not good at it, they do what they can to get better and find odd jobs. If you want something bad enough, that's the key to this whole thing. I was listening to Steve Harvey. He's a Christian. He's self-made. At one time, he was living in his car. If you want something so bad that you're willing to endure all the suffering to get to that point, then you succeed. If you could care less, the devil may let you succeed because then it puts you into something that you don't really want to do, and you'd be ineffective for God. Watch these guys. Listen to them when they talk. They're inspiring. Now, you're not going to find these inspiring videos advertised and put up where people can see them. This is God working in people's lives. Satan doesn't want you to know how to do that. But go out and look. If I make a video and I talk about something, you have the best tools in the world with Google and other things. You can look things up. Don't believe everything you see. If they're using the Bible, then you can see for yourself that what we're saying. But if I say something, your ignorance of the Bible, and I'm not saying this derogatory, I'm just saying your ignorance of the Bible doesn't mean I'm lying. And whether I'm telling the truth or not, don't accept me for what I'm saying. Don't accept the statement that I'm making without verifying it. Do your own homework. Every time you watch a video, if we're quoting scriptures, look them up. That's why I list them. Read for yourself. Now, I'm reading right out of the Bible, but read for yourself. And if you really want to study it, look it up online with a concordance and see what the words mean. You know, Ten Commandments doesn't say thou shalt not kill. That is not the wording. Thou shalt not kill without reason. The word we translate as murder. Now, it's never good to kill without a reason. If you're going to kill to eat, you're killing game. You don't kill people to eat, but you kill game. That's okay, but if you're killing just because you like to kill things, that's not a good reason. The motive is important. I hear a boat out there on the lake. As long as everybody's careful, I think somebody hit a log or something coming in yesterday. You can damage your boat, so you got to be careful. All right. I'm going to get this video edited and uploaded and then finalize it. I have to remember to finalize it. After I upload, I'm not done. I sometimes forget that I'm not done. Because you can't put everything in. When you upload a file, you can only put in like 4 of the things. So I got to finish it. All right. I get distracted. We all do. It's all right. It's natural. Work with God, and He'll work with you. He's got a plan for everyone. Be a part of that plan. God bless. Getting out early in the morning at my new location. Again, it's quiet. The water is still. Somebody's playing some music off in the distance. This lake is not real deep. I see boats on it though during the day. And there's some rafts over there. You can get out in the water. Where I'm walking, the grass is wet. And my feet are getting wet. So I'm here for a little while. Gotta go find a place to do my message. Let's see how close I can get. Bouncing around a lot. It's hard with it on Zoom, but we'll get close. Oh, took off. And he's gone to the other side. That's all right.